Hello Transformers fans, this is like it's 1985 with my top 10 list of my most anticipated Transformers that will be released either this summer or later in the year. It started out as a top 5, but as I ended up looking at more Transformers that were coming out, I had to expand that list to a top 10. Now, starting off, we got from Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now, as you can see here, he's got the Transformers War for Cybertron sticker, so obviously he's part of that line. What I really like about this particular Bumblebee is the head sculpt is very, very Generation 1 inspired with the horns and everything like that. Absolutely cool in my book to have Generation 1 inspired design elements. And looks like a pretty cool robot mode, and as you can see, the alt mode, while it's kind of funky looking, I think I'm going to pick it up because it kind of reminds me of, if you've already watched the very first episode of the Generation 1 cartoon back in the 1980s, of course, you see Bumblebee in its like Cybertronian form, and it kind of reminds me of that a little bit, so definitely nice to see there. And obviously it would make sense because this is a war for Cybertron. It takes place in the time before, before the Autobots and Decepticons came to Earth. So this is probably my first on my list, not necessarily in that order as far as desirability, but just the first one I thought of to add to my top 10. Now here's a Transformer that's going to be released that I think I'm going to pre-order, and just because of the fact that it may be hard to find in stores. This is Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Autobot Drift, and wow, what a figure. First off, he comes with 3 bladed weapons, one kind of what I would describe as a long blade, and 2 broader, shorter blades. Now, pictured here, you can see that this long blade comes packaged separately, but apparently the 2 broader yet shorter blades, can incorporate within the alt mode. Now here's a picture of him transformed into robot mode with his long blade, and if you follow the mouse pointer here, you can kind of see he has 2 swords stored into his doors here, which becomes kind of like the sheath, which I think that is a really awesome design element. Very, very cool. And if that wasn't enough for me, it also has a sports car alt mode, which if you watch my very first reviews on Transformers way back in last summer, you know that I really love Transformers that transform into really cool sports car modes. So definitely looking cool here. Definitely anticipating this highly. And like I said, I think I'm going to pre-order at least one of them, so in case I can't find them in the stores. And what I'm probably going to do is maybe pre-order 2 of them, and then maybe pick one up in stores, have one for display, and maybe one as a prize, and one for mint in box or something like that. So really cool there. I'm really excited about that. So next up on my list of most anticipated Transformers comes from third-party Fansproject. Now what Fansproject has done is they upgraded the original Hasbro release, Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus Maximus Combiner set. And they've added on 2 additional appendages for the right arm of Bruticus Maximus and the right leg of Bruticus Maximus. And these actually replace obviously the 2 corresponding appendages from the original Hasbro release set. So taking a look at the picture here, here's the picture of Explorer in his combined mode. He actually is a space shuttle in his alt mode. There's more pictures on this site. You can take a look at it yourself. I just wanted to go over the basics here. And then we've got on the right leg, we've got Munitioner, which is kind of a army jeep type of vehicle. And originally in the Generation 1 toy he was named Swindle, so and this was Blast Off. But anyhow, in addition to replacing these 2 right appendages on the original set, they've also gone to the great lengths to replace the hands. These look like to be articulated hands, and looks like this is the additional weapon you get. And as you can see here, they replace the feet. So to illustrate the point I was trying to make with the Fansproject appendage add-on sets and what they include in that set, let's take a look at the original Hasbro released Revenge of the Fallen Bruticus Maximus Combiner set. One of the first things you're going to notice on this set is the gimpy looking hands you get. Now Bruticus Maximus ROTF is a repaint of the Energon Combiner set of the same name. And you have these gimpy looking hands. In Energon they were called like Energon hands, I believe, or whatever. And you've got these gimpy looking feet. So that's one of the major upgrades that Fansproject has done, is replace the feet and the hands to much better create a much better Transformer. The other thing they did is, if you'll notice, it's hard to picture here, but basically you can see how we've got a tank mode and this is a helicopter mode. Well, if you pan down to the legs, you get the very same thing for the other two appendages on the body. You got a helicopter mode and a tank mode. Well, what Fansproject have done is instead of just giving you and leaving you with, basically 2 helicopters and 2 tanks, they've replaced the right arm with the basically the space shuttle mode, which is the Explorer add-on appendage, and they replaced the other helicopter mode with the Munitioner, which is basically is like an army tank mode. So they've really gone far to basically improve what Hasbro's released. And looking forward to this set. Actually, I was on the fence about getting this because of the cost, but I've actually changed my mind, and this has become one of my most anticipated Transformer releases that are coming out. So here's a look at the Explorer appendage add-on from Fansproject. You can see he's got a nice looking bladed weapon there, a nice looking blaster, got a great color scheme with a dark purple, the brown, and looks to be like black. And if we go to additional pictures of this set, here he is in his alt mode, the space shuttle mode. Looks like he can be transported by Onslaught here. And if that wasn't enough, you got playability factor here with on the back of Onslaught, you can have him be in kind of like launch mode there. So that looks really cool. And here's a close-up shot of Munitioner, the second appendage add-on kit from Fansproject. You've got, looks like to be great posability. You've got great weaponry added on there. So that's really exciting. But with this particular Munitioner, you also get this stuff here. And this is quite a bit. You can see, here's that large rifle we saw earlier. Looks like you get, these are the 2 weapons I believe from Munitioner. Then you get the, looks like the feet for the Bruticus Maximus Fansproject set, and the 2 hands which are articulated. And it appears you get like a different head there, you can see. And this is the chest piece that goes over Onslaught's chest during when he's combined into Bruticus Maximus. So both of these kits, both the Explorer and the Munitioner, are going to run you about $50. And it sounds like a lot, but I'm really getting excited about this. In fact, like I said, I've already pre-ordered this from Big Bad Toy Store. I was on the fence for a while, but I've since crossed over, and I am now a definite fan of this upgrade set from Fansproject and excited about it. And particularly with Munitioner, not only do you get the figure itself, but you get all this stuff that will be going into the combined mode of Bruticus Maximus to make it so much better. The articulated hands, the feet, just so much stuff you get in addition to the actual miniature robot. So really excited about that and really cool. And next up on my list is Human Alliance Jazz, to be released later this year. Now this really looks like a awesome Human Alliance figure, at least in the pictures anyways. The color scheme is really nice with the silver, and you've got some blacks and some bronze, gold color looking paint applications. And the molding looks really nice with all the details. Really looks promising. So I've got to add this to my list. Now take a look at a few more pictures here. Here's a close-up of his head sculpt, which looks really cool. It doesn't, I don't know if it looks, movie accurate, but nonetheless it looks really cool. And then you've got the alt mode here with Captain Lennox. And you've got the motorcycle, which wouldn't be a big deal to me. I mean, it is kind of cool though, because in the movie, I believe it was Captain Lennox who rode a kind of a Japanese motorbike in one of the scenes. But what happens with this motorbike is it becomes a weapon. Yes, and I think that's really cool the way they didn't just include a normal motorcycle, but it's a transforming motorcycle that apparently can transform into this kind of like Gatling gun with shield type of weapon. It's really looking awesome for this particular Human Alliance figure. I do have the Human Alliance Sideswipe figure. I have yet to review it, but I was a little bit disappointed by it, but hopefully Human Alliance Jazz will renew my faith in the Human Alliance line. Oh yes, Leader Class Starscream. Now I'm glad I didn't buy the Voyager class Starscream. Not that there was anything wrong with it, I just never got around to buying it. So instead I will be getting the Leader class Starscream once it hits the retail stores. Just like the overall look of it. I mean, it does look like its Voyager counterpart in terms of the alt mode. If we take a look at the deco there, you can see it's got the, I guess you call it the Cybertronian tattooing marks on it. But it looks really, really cool. It's got sounds and stuff like that, and you know, transformation sounds. So definitely, it's going to fit in nice with, you know, Leader Class Prime and Leader Class Megatron. So definitely looking forward to that. It's going to be nice to have a figure of this size and this scale. Yeah, looks like it's going to be cool.